You're watching South Asia Newsline and have the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 4th of November. India and Israel talk trade and terrorism as foreign ministers meet in New Delhi. Afghan roadside vendors recount earthquake horror. India reaches out to Taliban and sends aid. And ex-minister alleges CIA role in Bangladesh former PM Sheikh Hasina's ouster. And now for all the details. India and Israel on Tuesday held talks in New Delhi focusing on counter-terrorism, trade and regional connectivity. Foreign ministers S. Jaishankar and Gideon Sar emphasized a zero-tolerance approach to terrorism and discussed cooperation through projects like the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor. Jaishankar reaffirmed India's support for the Gaza peace plan, expressing hope it would pave the way for lasting peace. He highlighted the recent bilateral investment agreement as a notable step in strengthening economic ties and identified new opportunities in infrastructure, renewable energy, health and high-tech sectors. Noting the two nations' strong record in agriculture and innovation, he said collaboration in semiconductors and cybersecurity is increasingly important and invited Israel to the AI Impact Summit in February. Meanwhile, Sar praised India's rise as the world's largest democracy and fastest growing economy and called for a long-term strategic partnership. The talks took place amid renewed global efforts to manage the humanitarian and security crisis in Gaza. Prime Minister of Bhutan, Tshering Tobgay, in an exclusive interview to ANI on Monday, said that the ties between India and Bhutan continue to evolve. Tobgay noted that many Indian spiritual masters influenced Bhutan and highlighted close cooperation under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. He stressed that Bhutan has greatly benefited from India's development partnership and that economic ties are now expanding, especially in hydropower, with Indian private sector participation growing.
There's a lot of cooperation already happening. This is being built, actually, on cooperation that we have enjoyed over millennia, because many spiritual masters from India traveled to Bhutan or sometimes to other parts of the Himalayas and ended up in Bhutan. And if they didn't come here in person, their teachings ultimately found their home in Bhutan.
Meanwhile, the Global Peace Prayer Festival has begun in Thimphu, Bhutan from November 4 to 17. The 13-day event unites Buddhist leaders and practitioners across traditions to promote peace, compassion and harmony. The festival being held in Thimphu features sacred rituals, a non-sectarian global peace prayer, the mass recitation of Basguru, public blessings and the Kala Chakra empowerment. It aims to unite spiritual leaders and practitioners from all traditions of Buddhism to foster peace, compassion and harmony. Roadside vendors in Afghanistan recounted the moment a powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck northern Afghanistan a day earlier that killed at least 20 people and injured over 500. With the death toll likely to rise, India reached out to the Taliban regime and has sent relief material including food and medicines. We have a report.
Roadside vendors in Afghanistan on Tuesday recalled the moment a powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck Afghanistan's northern city, Mazar-e-Sharif, a city of around 523,000, famed for its shrines and historic sites. Shopkeepers witnessed a strong shake and ran out of their shops. The U.S. Geological Survey said the quake hit at a depth of 28 kilometers. The sharp jolt resulted in the destruction of numerous shops. The earthquake lasted for about 15 seconds and there was so much dust in the air that we could not see anything, shopkeepers said. The shopkeepers were seen digging through rubble. The quake also damaged the 15th century Blue Mosque, considered one of the holiest sites in Afghanistan, but the structure remained intact.
تقریبا در جای 20 دکان یا 30 دکان است کلش خسارت دیده است که هیچ آباد نیست تا هم دکان هم تو معلوم میشه داخل دکان که سعی کنین هیچ درآمد نمیشه میترسین که والا این همین سال چاپ شه یا 10 دقیقه بعد چاپ شه دیگه خو انارو که از کلش دانه دکان مونده یا تقریبا اگه 50 انار باشه 30 40 سرین 100% مثال چوب زده و یا که کلوخ زده و همین کافیده و دلده شده رسوا شده است.
The Afghan Health Ministry said rescue teams had reached remote villages in the worst affected regions, where more fatalities were likely to be discovered. The footage released by the Afghan Ministry of Defense showed military rescue teams shoveled through the rubble of devastated homes. Hours later, India swiftly sent aid to the Taliban-led regime, sending 15 tons of relief material, including food and medicines. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar spoke with Afghan FM Amir Khan Mataki, conveying condolences and reaffirming India's commitment to supporting the Afghan people amid the tragedy.
لکه څنګه چې تاسو ته معلومه ده د پرون شپې د واقعې سره چې په شمال کې واقع شوه د زلزلې لله الحمد مجاهدین د شمال زون د 2 سنه الفتح کل اردو اړوند ټولو لیواګانو په مجموع کې ټولو قطاعاتو په موقع باندې ځانونه ورسول و موقع ته نو لله الحمد تقریبا 3 ساعته موږ عملیات درلودي په دې کې د ژغورنې عملیات او په دې کې د لارې خلاصېدو عملیات دغه کارو چې هغه مو وکړي او بل تقریبا 15 تنې موټران مو وباسل تخریب شوي موټران او 2 کیلومتره لاره مو صفا کړه او تقریبا زخمیانو شفاخانې ته انتقال کړه.
The country is particularly vulnerable to quakes as it lies on 2 active faults that have the potential to rupture and cause extensive damage. A sharp drop in foreign aid and mass deportations of Afghan refugees by neighboring countries, the disaster is the latest challenge for war-torn Afghanistan's Taliban administration, already grappling with crises.
And a new political revelation from Bangladesh has reignited debate over the fall of Bangladesh ex-Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government. Former Bangladesh Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal has accused the United States and the CIA of orchestrating Sheikh Hasina's fall through the country's military leadership. His explosive claims come in a new book titled Inshallah Bangladesh, the Story of an Unfinished Revolution. The former Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal has alleged that Bangladesh Army Chief General Waqar Uzzaman acted as a CIA agent and was responsible for Hasina's ouster. The former minister also alleged that the United States sought to gain control over St. Martin's Island, a strategically located territory in the Bay of Bengal, as part of its long-term regional agenda. In the same book, Hasina blamed imposters and terror apologists for the fall of her government and said that she would return to deliver justice to her people. She also slammed interim Bangladeshi leader, Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus, and alleged that he supported the US in the regime change. Hasina's Awami League ruled Bangladesh for more than 15 years until last August, when a massive student uprising forced her to resign. She fled across the border to India, where she remains in exile. Nepal's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a move bypassing the Supreme Court's interim order not to implement the decision to recall 11 ambassadors appointed by the previous Oli government, wrote to the envoys on Monday to return back by November 6 deadline. All 11 embassies acting on the ministry's instructions had already communicated to the foreign ministries of the host countries that the head of missions were leaving soon. The country's top court on Sunday issued an interim order against the government's decision to recall 11 Nepali ambassadors from various countries, including China, the US, Britain and Japan, appointed by former PM KP Sharma Oli. In seeking the removal of the envoys, the government said it was not satisfied with the performance of the envoys. However, 6 ambassadors appointed by the same Oli government are not on the recall list, as some of them are doing well, and there is also a need to maintain an ethnic and gender balance, informed the Kathmandu Post. Moving on, Sikh devotees from India's northern Punjab state departed for neighbouring Pakistan on Tuesday to undertake a pilgrimage months after tensions fled between the two countries following the Pahalgam terror attack. On 22nd of April, terrorists allegedly associated with the Pakistan-based terror outfit targeted tourists in Pahalgam in India's Jammu and Kashmir, triggering a fierce 4-day military confrontation between India and Pakistan in May, the worst in nearly 3 decades. The pilgrims will observe the birth anniversary of the Sikh faith's revered founder, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, at his birthplace on Wednesday. They will then embark on a 10-day journey that includes visits to several historic Sikh shrines left behind during the partition. For many Sikhs, Pakistan holds deep spiritual significance. It is where their religion began, with Guru Nanak's birth in 1469 in a small village near the eastern city of Lahore.
ਆਪਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੰਧੂਰ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਜੱਥਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੀ। ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਆ। ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਆ ਵੀਰ ਭੈਣ ਭਾਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ।
ये जत्था जैसे रूटीन में हर साल जाता है, 10 दिनों के लिए जत्था जाएगा और अलग अलग जो गुरुधाम है पाकिस्तान में सिखों के जो पार्टीशन के समय वहाँ रह गए थे, तो जैसे एज़ पर एग्रीमेंट जो ये जत्था जाता है तो ये 10 दिनों के लिए जाएगा।
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.